know where your mind is going. Now that's different than knowing your thoughts. That's different than just watching your thoughts. It's different than stepping outside your mind and saying, oh, now I'm thinking this, now I'm thinking that. Most thinking is in motion. These are streams of thought. You're building a fantasy reality. You're recreating a memory. You're projecting into the future. This is a stream of thoughts. Your mind is going somewhere, all right? And most of these thoughts are connected to something, so it's a stream of thoughts. And as you get to know yourself and listen to others subjectively, you can see that many of these streams we share together. You know, we have streams of thought about projecting, you know, fearful scenarios for ourselves, imagining what it would be like to be in a difficult situation, imagining ourselves being in a relationship with a person or a place or a thing. These are streams of thought, okay? They're very common to probably all of us. So, know where your mind is going. And make a decision, do you want to go there? No, I don't want to go there. So you pull your mind back. Sometimes you may want to go there just to see what that is. But for the most part, these wanderings of the mind are not fruitful. They're not leading to a prize or a great realization. So in this way, you keep your mind functional. And part of being functional mentally is being present to what you're doing, to who you are, who you're with, what's going on around you, what's going on within you. Just being present. In fact, probably the majority of mistakes that we make and people make is because they're not being present. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see the person stepping out in front of my car, right? I didn't see that item on the stairs that I just slipped on, almost broke my leg. I didn't see that I left the stove on. I didn't see that I have to go upstairs 3 more times because I didn't follow a certain progression of events I need to follow every morning to get myself ready for the day. Being present. And being present in a way is kind of a functional stillness because it's being observant to what is happening and to what you are doing. Your mind is in motion, but it's in sync with what you are doing. If you want to contemplate something, sit down and stop doing and start contemplating. If you want to imagine something, don't be doing it while you're actually in motion, because you will not be paying attention. And when you're not paying attention, you're not all there. Some people are so not all there that, you know, they're hardly present for anything. They're living in a sort of a miasmic dream. And so bad things happen to them. And they didn't see it coming. Before most bad things that will happen to you, there are signs that it is coming. Most. Signs. Visual signs, internal signs, signs from knowledge, signs. Got to be present for those. And so being present is, you'll be surprised at how much of the time you are not present. Where have I been for the last 3 hours? Well, I did this, but you didn't know where you were. So being present is really great for your mind. It's very, very rejuvenating. In fact, one of the best things you can do for your mind is to be involved in an active engagement, probably not your work, but it could be your work, where you're completely absorbed in it. Perhaps you do that gardening. Perhaps you do that playing music. Perhaps you do that even during your practice, but you're absorbed in it. So this is great for the mind. It's a focused mind. You're single-minded. That's great for your mind. That is really what your mind was meant to do. So if you think at the end of the day how much time was spent where you were not present. You really didn't know what was going on within you, around you very carefully. Okay, you were able to drive through traffic and you did these things, but how much were you with your own experience? How much were you seeing things around you carefully, discerning your environment? I mean, this sounds like a very obvious, simple thing, but it actually, most people do not practice being present, either to their own experience, to the experience of others, or to what's going on around them. And so when bad things come down the line, they blame others. They play the victim card, which is really stupid. What's going on in people's careers right now? You can see these things coming, these trend lines coming, that may make your line of work obsolete or reduce it greatly, or maybe there's a technological change that will alter your line of work or eliminate it altogether. This is called paying attention, watching for signs. I think watching for signs is just something you do peripherally. I don't think you have to do it with high intention. It's just you watch for things that stand out in your experience. But to do that, you have to be present to your experience. And present to your experience is a kind of functional stillness. I am with what I'm doing. I can't tell you what a difference this will make in terms of reducing the number of errors, mistakes, oversights in your life. Your discernment of other people becomes heightened and sharp, and you begin to become engaged with your own experience more consistently, which gives you a kind of a measure of how you feel about things that you encounter as you go through each day. So, knowing where your mind is going is one practice. Being still is another. But to know where your mind is going, you have to be still and present enough to know where your mind is going. Look what my mind is doing right now. I kind of sense, I know where this is going to go. This is going to go down some predictable pathway. And I'm not going to do that. So I click off. Come back to being present. It's a great reorientation to just come back to be present. You don't have to be at peace. Don't be loving. Loving is a behavior. I can't stand it when people try to be loving. It's so false. Just come back to be present. To be really loving with people, you have to be present to them. Then it comes naturally. Compassion, regard, appreciation. And it, by its very nature, invites you to become objective because you're not adding meaning or preference to the things you're looking at. When you do that, you're not present anymore. You're only seeing yourself. I look at a person and I have judgments and preferences and dislikes. I'm not seeing that person. I'm seeing myself. Most people look out and all they see is themselves. Their thoughts, their beliefs, preferences, judgments. They're not seeing anything. So life treats them harshly because they're not paying attention. So I think this is, for me, is a daily signpost to know where my mind is going, decide where do I want to go there, stop it and redirect it, and be present. If I'm being present, I'm not distracted. And I'm also much more powerful.